Every prince who came to marry her left in a hurry. The first prince arrived on a white horse, wearing armor so shiny you could see your reflection in his chestplate. He took one look at Ilara fixing a broken bird's wing at the palace gate, mud on her dress and a smear of something green across her nose, and said,
"I expected different."
He left before dinner. The second prince was a poet. He brought roses and read her a love poem that took 45 minutes. Ilara listened patiently.
"With you, my love, all is made right."
That was beautiful, but did you know roses actually communicate with each other underground through their roots?
The prince rolled up his scroll, bowed stiffly, and was gone by morning. The third, fourth, and fifth princes each had their own reasons.
Don't you agree, gentlemen?
One couldn't stand that she beat him at chess in under 10 moves.
As you wish.
Another was horrified when she laughed so hard at a joke that she snorted. The last one simply said she was too much. Nobody asked him too much of what. The king and queen began to worry. The king held royal meetings about it.
Sire, her dowry is generous, then it is her they reject.
The queen ordered new dresses for Ilara, softer colors, quieter fabrics, as if the problem was her wardrobe.
Variety is essential.
Ilara wore the dresses and stayed exactly herself, which, honestly, was the only thing she knew how
Gentlemen,
to do.
imagine the discoveries awaiting us!
Your Highness, this is most intriguing!
Indeed, we must begin at once.
One rainy afternoon, when Ilara was sitting alone in the royal library reading a book about the migration of butterflies, a young man walked in by accident. He was soaking wet, slightly out of breath, and carrying a bag full of maps that kept falling out one by one. He was not a prince.
Sorry, I'm very lost,
he said, picking up his maps from the floor.
Most interesting people are.
Ilara replied, without looking up from her book. Kyle laughed, a real laugh, not a polished royal chuckle, but the kind that bursts out when something catches you completely off guard. Ilara looked up. He looked embarrassed. She smiled. He stayed to dry off. She showed him a map in one of the library books that was completely wrong about the location of a southern river.
It changes everything.
Exactly, now we know.
He pulled out one of his own maps and showed her the correct route.
To the castle.
They argued about it for an hour, cheerfully and loudly, until a librarian shushed them twice. By the time the rain stopped, they had forgotten all about the cartographer's package.
The Lost Kingdom, that's incredible.
Kale came back the next day, and the day after that. Not with roses or poems or shining armor, he brought a map he'd drawn of a forest no one had properly documented, and asked if she wanted to help him fill in the blank spaces. She said yes before he finished the sentence.
Let's begin our adventure.
I'm ready.
Look,
They explored, they talked.
How thrilling! Let's find the first landmark.
And the book mentions hidden treasures.
I can't wait! Let's go!
This will be an adventure to remember.
With you, absolutely.
He never once looked uncomfortable when she laughed too loud or asked too many questions.
So this is the enchanted forest. How thrilling!
Indeed. The map points to a glade ahead.
What might we find there? Fairies? Dragons?
We'll see. The path holds many secrets.
I can't wait. Let's go.
In fact, he collected her questions like treasures, writing the best ones in a little notebook he kept in his coat pocket. She, in turn, helped him see patterns in the world, in the way rivers moved, in the way roads bent around old forgotten things that made his maps the most accurate and alive the kingdom had ever seen. The king noticed.
Absolutely ridiculous. I can hardly
The queen noticed.
I haven't laughed that hard in ages.
The whole court noticed, and everyone had an opinion, most of them loud and unhelpful.
Look at him.
A map-maker's apprentice was not a prince. He had no title, no horse, and his best coat had an ink stain on the left sleeve that refused to come out. Ilara stood before her parents one evening, calm and clear-eyed, and said,
I have spent months watching men leave because I am too much. Kale has never once tried to make me less. I think that matters more than a title.
The king was quiet for a long time. He was a good king, which meant he was also, eventually, a wise father. He thought about his daughter, her wild hair, her loud laugh, her
is this
endless
map for?
questions.
It shows our kingdom's lands, my dear.
And these symbols, are they treasures? Perhaps they are, Princess. Father, I want to see the world beyond these walls.
My dear, it's not safe out there.
But I'm so curious, please.
Your place is here, Princess.
I understand, Father.
And he realized with a start that he had never once wished she were different. So why had he spent so long hoping someone else would feel the same way he did? He gave his blessing.
You have my
the
blessing.
queen cried,
Thank you,
though she
Father.
later said it
Go
was
with
allergies.
my love.
My sweet girl.
The wedding was nothing like the grand royal ceremonies in the history books. Ilara wore her favorite dress, which had a small tear at the hem from when she'd climbed a tree to rescue a kite 2 weeks before. Kale wore his best coat, ink stain and all. They were married in the royal garden, surrounded by people who loved them. And when the officiant said, "You may now," Ilara had already kissed him because she had never been very good at waiting for instructions.
The castle is
They
just over
travelled.
this hill, love.
Kale made maps and Ilara filled them with stories. The name of the old woman who lived near the mountain pass and made the best soup in the world, the hidden waterfall behind the valley, the tree that had been struck by lightning and grown back twice as wide.
Got it. This map
Their
is
maps became
extraordinarily
famous,
detailed.
not just for being accurate, but for being human.
So accurate. We must follow it. Adventure awaits, my boy.
People said you could find your way with them even if you'd never traveled before, because they felt like a friend was guiding
Path
you.
looks clear from here. Onward.
Years passed. The kingdom grew and changed. Ilara eventually became queen, and she was exactly the kind of queen you'd hope for.
We can do this together! Yes! With unity, we will prevail!
Curious, stubborn in the best way, and absolutely terrible at sitting through boring meetings without asking disruptive questions.
Must be patient, Your Majesty.
Kale became royal cartographer, and their children, 3 of them, each louder and more inquisitive than the last, grew up believing that being too much simply meant you hadn't yet found the right people to be too much with.
Mother,
As for
look how
Ilara,
beautiful
she
the
was never
roses
the
are.
princess nobody
I
wanted.
want to see the
She was
fountain.
always
We will
the
visit the
princess
fountain
the
next,
wrong
darling.
people didn't know what to do with. And that, as it turned out, was a very different thing. And they lived curiously and loudly and wonderfully ever after.